From rugby sevens to 11 on 11s, college football camps in full swing around the inland Northwest. Now, some teams might be in the middle of a two-man quarterback competition, while in Eastern Washington, it's a three-man race. Head coach Bo Baldwin has said Gage Gabrud would be the starter if the season started tomorrow, but of course it doesn't. That means sophomore Riley Hennessy and senior Jordan West will continue to push Gabrud and compete for that starting job for the next few weeks.
It's fun to be sitting here with three quarterbacks that I think are incredible people first.
There are 14 starters back for Washington State this season, but there are also quite a few fresh faces on the field in Lewiston. The Cougs will be looking to some of these players to contribute right away. That depth chart projects some underclassmen to get plenty of playing time, especially in the defensive backfield and on the offensive line. This year's crop of new players has hit the ground running in the first week of camp.
We've had a little better chemistry, start off, and then these young guys did a nice job.
Former Zag Domantas Sabonis and Team Lithuania taking on Argentina in the Olympics. That gets started at 6:30. Now, you can't watch it on TV, but you can watch it on the NBC Olympics stream. Time for a quick break. We're back after this. The Cougs just leaving the field here, and also the sun just left. It feels incredible in Lewiston today, and the Cougs will spend their first 10 days of fall football camp here. A little bit of a unique thing. They don't do their fall practice to start, at least in Pullman. They kind of bring them down here, just get them away from everything and get the guys a chance to maybe get to know each other a little bit. Honestly, talking to them, it basically sounds like summer camp. They play shuffleboard and board games, and kind of a unique chance to bond with your teammates away from that college environment.
It's hot down here. That's like the only negative I have for it. But the reason we come down here isn't for like the heat. It's just to get away from the campus and all the fans and everything, and really just get to bond with each other.
And coming up later in sports, we will talk a little bit of on-the-field action. And one of the deepest positions this team has this year, the running back position. That's not normal for a Mike Leach team. So we'll talk a little bit about that coming up later in the show. Mike?
For more on the importance of tonight's game, we bring in the third member of our broadcast team tonight, Lindsay Joy.
Yeah, that's right, Sam. This is not just another series for the Indians. Talking to the guys before the game, you could sense that maybe just a little more important. Pitcher Alex Danielle said, they got us down there. We really want to get them up here. Of course, Eugene took 4 out of 5 against Spokane when they played in Eugene. And then Charles LeBlanc said, this is a team that we could very well be playing in the postseason. That just makes these upcoming games all that more important. Sam? All right, welcome back to Avista Stadium. The Eugene Emeralds and Spokane Indians still scoreless. The fourth just about to get underway. Joined by a special guest now. This is Ben Hill. He writes for MILB.com, and he travels around to minor league ballparks all over the country, kind of just checking out the scene. So first of all, Ben, what are your impressions of Avista Stadium so far?
Well, this is a beautiful stadium.
And I know you do a cool thing. You kind of try out the food at every stadium, but you have a designated eater, so you don't eat it yourself. Tell me the reasoning behind not enjoying all of this delicious ballpark food.
Well, there's actually a very specific reason for it.
Tim, a lot of strikeouts, but a lot of walks from C.D. Pelham tonight. What did you see from your starter?
Well, I think it's a little bit of outing than he's had the last couple nights.
Some opportunities tonight, not able to get a run across. What was the difference in this game?
Well, I think it was obviously pitching. I thought both sides pitched pretty well.
We heard a lot of boos from this crowd tonight. We know what they thought of the strike zone. What did you think of the strike zone tonight?
Well, I mean, that's part of the game. You're not always going to get the calls that you want to get.
Kind of going off that, you had a pretty good look at that Chad Smith possible foul, possible fair home run. What did you see on that?
I thought initially they might have a chance of being fair, but he didn't really leave the box too far. I think he knew it was foul right away, and so I think it was foul all the way.
Finally, just how important is it to bounce back, especially against a team like Eugene tomorrow?
Well, I think the biggest thing is it might be a team we play in the playoffs, so definitely we want to bounce back.
All right, guys, so when you're at an Indians game, you can see exactly how fast the pitches that are being thrown are if you just look up right there on the scoreboard. And you've probably wondered, how fast can you throw? Well, the good news is you can find out if you're at an Indians game. Just come to the speed pitch booth right here on the Adder Concourse. You can find out exactly how hard you can throw. I'm not going to tell you how hard I was throwing because it's too embarrassing. But if you are good, the winners from every age group every night receive tickets to a future Spokane Indians game. Guys, I don't know how fast you can throw, but you should come out here and try this.
95 on the radar gun. Lindsay can hear me, right? I'm wondering if what was she on the radar gun, and how accurate was the radar gun? Did you calibrate it, Lindsay?
Sometimes it didn't register, but I don't think that was my fault. I think that was the gun's fault. But I was 31. You knew it because you called me Lindsay 31 miles per hour Joy, which is correct. But I think I hit a little higher than that one of the other times it wasn't on camera.
I agree, just so fast it didn't register.
Yeah, it couldn't get to the triple digits to show the 130.
Now let's flash back. Remember the baseball movie where the substitute, the teacher is a baseball coach. It's based upon the Tampa Rays pitcher, and he goes to the construction site and he throws, and the register.
I feel like this is in French subtitles.
The
right
radar
now.
gun.
Wait, is this the rookie with Dennis
Yes,
Quaid?
the
I
rookie.
got a movie reference.
Thank you, Lindsay.
And he thinks he throws the ball 55 miles an hour, and then as he walks off in disappointment, it flickers, and it was 95 miles. So maybe what I'm saying, Lindsay, is it says 31 there, and you're disappointed, but as you walk away, maybe it was 41 miles an hour.
I was hoping for a 61, but I guess I'll have to settle for a 4.
SWX's Lindsay Joy found Coach Ken Bell is trying to impart the same wisdom on up-and-comers.
Long before he was an Olympian, Greg Billington was a teenager who was almost too dedicated to his sport.
Greg was just super motivated. He never missed. I mean, ever. His parents would call me on a Sunday and say, well, can you tell Greg to take a day off? You know, just one day off.
When did you know he could be an Olympic level athlete?
I think it was junior year after our American high school season ended. I said, well, there's a couple of British races and I'd like to see you do. There's one down in London and it's pretty high class. And he called me and said, well, I won that pretty easy.
The champion is Greg Billington for Sussex.
I was like, you won that? Oh my goodness, that's like the best of the best.
Triathlon has taken Billington all around the world, but he hasn't forgotten his hometown. Last fall, he made a trip back to Spokane to see his old coach and spent some time with some of the best young distance runners in the Lilac City.
Working with Greg, like he pushed me. He's like, hey, stick with me, go easy here, but then go blast up these hills hard.
Through his wins abroad and his time spent at home in the inland Northwest, Billington is now inspiring the next generation of Olympic hopefuls.
Greg is always there. He's always like practicing, and now he's just out in the Olympic Games, and that's like total inspiration because maybe I can make it to the Olympic Games.
That's what I've been kind of preaching here at Rogers to the kids I'm coaching. That it's not so much how talented you are or how hard you work sometimes, but it's that consistency. You know, you just keep showing up, showing up. You guys are Olympic.
Ken Bell has known Greg Billington for a long time. He's served as a coach and a mentor, and now as a fan who gets to cheer on his most persistent pupil on the world's biggest stage.
Wow, what a great story. Thank you so much. Is the coach going to be there?
You know, he's not going to be able to go to Rio, but he and Roberto both did say they cannot wait to watch Greg compete on television. And Ken also mentioned he couldn't wait to even just watch the opening ceremony, just the whole thing.
Well, when is the event?
It's next Thursday, so August 18th is the Olympic Triathlon.
Nice. Thank you so much.